and here you are months without, any work. That means no money coming in as well. And then a lot of times you kind of feel like, should I just give in to society, and should I just give in to a regular structure so that I can be normal? Should I have a 9 to 5 job? So just to get an opportunity to show your skills as an actor and for people to appreciate it, that's what you've come here for. The thing is that I feel like if your part is even 5 minutes in a project, but it's so damn impactful, you will leave a lasting effect on your audience. Absolutely. Compared to someone who's on your face for 2.5 hours and you're not enjoying their performance. Casting for the film.
Okay.
So they came up to me and said, there's a film called Tamasha, उसमें छोटा सा part है, इम्तियाज अली सर डायरेक्ट कर रहे हैं, रणबीर कपूर के आपको एक्ट करना है उनके साथ. So I was like, yes, of course, 100%.
Hey guys, I'm Manjari Mukherjee and you're watching me on Pop Diaries channel. I'm in a very lamba conversation again with a very, very special person. She's special because she's extraordinary, not just on screen with her presence, but she's also very, very extraordinary as a person out off the screen. I would say कि यार उनको देखकर ऐसा लगता है, and you would agree with me, उनको देखकर ऐसा लगता है कि उनको देखते रहे because she's that talented, guys, and you know it. She is one and only Naila Grewal, who was last seen in Ishq Vishk Rebound and Mamla Legal Hai. Don't forget to watch it if you haven't watched it. Okay, welcome to Pop Diaries.
Thank you so much. That was such a lovely introduction. I love that. It was very calming and you encapsulated everything so beautifully. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Naila. I have to tell you that it's not just me, as I was telling you before also, it's the world. Everybody and anybody who's watched Ishq Vishk Rebound, they would say कि यार इस बंदी को और क्यों नहीं दिया कैरेक्टर में, और ज़्यादा ग्राफ क्यों नहीं दिया, और कुछ क्यों नहीं दिया. So we really wanted to see you more because you were that entertained, that related to your character. And I personally, on a very personal level, I related to your character so much. She was sorted, she was mature, she was calm, and she had this, that focus. That tunnel vision for what she wanted out of the man of her life and the relationship that she wanted. And that was the best thing. Because I know what I want and I just kind of related a lot to that.
Right. I'm so glad you said that because I feel like somewhere I wanted to portray a girl like that. People have a thought process, and I think it's a bit of a preconceived notion that all Gen Z girls are confused and they're dating 100 guys. But I feel like there are lots of girls, millennials and Gen Zs, who know what they want. They know the characteristics they want in their partner. They know as an individual what they are, and they fall in love, and sometimes things don't work out as they imagine it to be.
Exactly.
So I feel like I wanted to portray a girl of today, and I'm so glad that it resonated with you. It's resonated with so many people. And like you said, that itch that kash Riya aur hoti isme.
Exactly.
I feel like that's such a big compliment, and I feel it's a win in its own. And so many people are telling me this exact same thing. I think I'm going to convey this to my producers, and maybe they can have another spin-off.
Wow. No, seriously, please do consider. Tarani sir, please. Moving on. What is the feeling like though, Naila? Not only for Ishq Vishk Rebound, let me tell you, for Mamla Legal Hai as well, you have received lots of love.
Correct.
Like that's something that, majorly doesn't happen to people who've just entered the scene.
Absolutely.
On a full-fledged show or a movie as well. And you've got that. I mean, it just shows that you truly do have a lot of potential in you. Like, what is the feeling like to get that much of love?
It's such an overwhelming experience because, as you can just imagine, I'm not from the industry. I'm from Delhi, born and brought up in Delhi.
Absolutely.
I have no filmy connections whatsoever. So just to get an opportunity to show your skills as an actor and for people to appreciate it, that's what you've come here for, and when you get that, you feel like, chalo, I've chosen the right profession. Finally, वो सबर का फल मीठा होता है, वो मीठा indeed hai. People are showering their love, and I just feel very overwhelmed, but I just feel humbled. बिल्कुल घमंड तो बिल्कुल नहीं है, because I've just started off and I feel like the love I'm receiving it's just made me a lot more confident as an actor, enough to perform more and more. I just want to do a lot more now, because as soon as you get that validation that you look for as an actor, you just want to be heard and you want to be seen and you want your work to do the talking and nothing else. And when that happens, you just feel, I want to do more. I want to entertain more. I want to give my audiences more. So I'm in that state of mind where I'm just itching to do so much more.
But I'm just saying it from a personal experience also. Have you ever felt that एक plan B रखना चाहिए in case if this doesn't work out, even though we really wish for it to work out, we
Yeah.
always wish for it.
Yeah.
It's our dream.
Yeah.
But if certainly that plan A doesn't work out, so did you ever have a plan B to fall back on?
So one thing was clear, that even my parents and myself, I focused on my education. I made sure that, as you said, there should be something to fall back on if you feel like you're unsatisfied with because it's such a volatile industry, as you know.
Exactly.
Being an actor, it's not like a 9 to 5 job ki aap kaam karte raho phir aapko position milegi. It's one day you're up, one day you're down. One day people will love your work and maybe you've put in 50% of effort, and there'll be days when you've put in 110% and they're like, bekar. Right? So there's no 2 + 2 = 4 situation with this profession. So yes, I studied journalism and mass communication in college. I went to Lady Shri Ram College for Women, which is in Delhi University. I did journalism and mass communication, and then I did my post-grad in advertising and public relations in IIMC.
Wow.
So I knew for a fact that even if I don't become an actor, let's say, I will perhaps be a journalist. Maybe I would be in your position interviewing someone else.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a very, very good I
Yeah.
don't know, that's a very good connection.
Correct. And I thought ki, because I like being a performer, to camera ke samne, I am presenting and I'm talking, and it's film related, maybe with actors and directors. So I was like, I'll do that.
That's superb. I will say this thing. So the first time that I met Naila was definitely during the song launch.
Yeah.
I met you just like for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And then we said that we will have a conversation
Yeah.
and everything. And uske baad cut to the interviews. I met her that time, and even though she was not well that day,
Yeah.
I have to say this to you.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, the answers you were giving and the way how you talked.
Yeah.
Was like, it was making me, it's like, wow.
Wow.
She is so well spoken.
Thank
I mean,
you.
it was just so, I loved the way how you articulate all the answers that you have to say.
Thank you.
And it's just very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you. I love receiving compliments about that, because, I love talking and I love communicating.
Yeah.
So when people appreciate your style of communication, to me, it's a great. I'm like, I'm so happy.
Okay, moving on. You talked about, the whole industry being very volatile and very dynamic.
Correct.
In one's success or failure, for that
Right.
matter.
Right.
Everybody always remembers the success, but they always forget the amount of struggle or efforts that the person has put in
Yeah.
to have that moment of success.
Yeah.
It's just a moment for them, but for that person, it's a whole lot of journey of years and years.
Absolutely.
What was your most lowest moment where you really struggled with yourself and your dreams, and you were almost on the verge of giving up, but then there was that silver lining, because that always happens.
Yeah.
So,
I'm so glad you asked that, and the way you kind of have strung together this question, because you're right. Like there are many days where you feel like, should I give up? I've completed my education, and you see your friends around you who are in jobs and are getting their paychecks month to month, and here you are months without any work. That means no money coming in as well. And then a lot of times you kind of feel like, should I just give in to society, and should I just give in to a regular structure so that I can be normal? Should I have a 9 to 5 job? Should I get married at the age everyone else in my class is getting married in? Should I follow those structures, or should I do what I've always wanted to do? It's a hard call to take, definitely. Talking about the moment that I felt maybe my lowest, it was between, I would say, I had done Bareilly Ki Barfi. My cameo in Bareilly Ki Barfi was when I was in IIMC. I was still in college and I got that chance. And तब तो ठीक था, मतलब shooting होती थी, and then I would go back to college. I'm hanging out with my friends, lectures, ये वो, फिर exams आ गए थे, तो you're stuck in a routine again.
Exactly.
But it was after I finished my post-graduation where I felt that, should I stop now? Should I stop trying? Because many offers weren't really coming to me. I was still in Delhi. A lot of people had this misconception that if I'm staying in Delhi, matlab she's not serious to be an actor. If she's serious, she should be living in Mumbai.
Exactly.
But I feel like I was very serious. It was just that I didn't have the bandwidth at that time to shift to Mumbai. So there were many times where I thought, let's give up. Maybe let's choose another profession. Maybe I become a journalist. Maybe I get into mass media. Maybe I start working with a publication or a news channel or something. But I feel like every time you get work, it suddenly rejuvenates you like a child. And you feel like you're back to square one and you're like, I'm so excited and I'm going to make this happen for myself. I've been a part of many projects in very small ways, in smaller parts. But it's so interesting, and it's funny as well that even today people think that Ishq Vish Rebound is my first film.
Very true.
There are lots of people who are like,
I mean,
this is the first time we're seeing her on the big screen.
I'm cutting you off, but I would really like to take this moment. She's been a part of Tamasha.
Yeah.
Thappad.
Yeah.
And Bareilly Ki Barfi, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and all these films are classic hits.
Yeah.
And they are all loved for the story and the characters.
Yeah.
And even just being a small part, I think I have to give kudos to you, Naila. Even just being a small part of that film, you have somehow proved a point. Maybe the reason why people only remember is just I'm assuming, remember as Ishq Vish Rebound because it has come across on their faces.
Correct.
Very clearly it has come across on their faces that there is this girl who's proving her worth even in the most smallest parts.
Yeah.
And she's telling you that knock knock, look here, I'm here and I'm not going anywhere.
Correct.
You cannot, वो नजरअंदाज नहीं कर सकते.
Yeah.
So that's kudos to you.
Yeah, and it's really not easy. I'm so glad, the way you're putting it is exactly how I've always thought about it myself. It's for me, and I genuinely, even today after doing a Mamla Legal Hai, after the popularity and the image that Ishq Vish Rebound has had for me, it's been impactful, definitely. But I'm still not bound by a title. If someone comes to me and says, this is a part, I'm not just stuck by, is it a lead, is it a heroine? Because even now, thankfully, I'm only being offered meaty parts now, which is what I always wanted to do.
Exactly.
But the thing is that I feel like if your part is even 5 minutes in a project, but it's so damn impactful, you will leave a lasting effect on your audience.
Absolutely.
Compared to someone who's on your face for 2.5 hours and you're not enjoying their performance.
Absolutely.
So I go with that vision, and I aspire to just do work where I know that I can do as much as I possibly can in that role, enough to make it memorable enough for my audience. And if I can do that, I think that's a win for me. Absolutely. And that's kind of how I see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's really good.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Definitely
It's definitely not
Oh
easy because a lot of people say, there are lots of people to tell you a lot of things, right, in this line of work. They'll say, don't do projects like this and do projects like this. Wait for this to happen, and wait for that to happen. Wait for someone to launch you in a big fancy way. Great. If that happens to you, if you have that luck by chance moment, well and good. But I feel like, I'm not here for that. I'm not here to be an overnight person. If it happens, great. Everyone wants that Shah Rukh Khan aha moment. But no one remembers that even a Mr. Shah Rukh Khan has put in years of work to have that aha moment.
Exactly.
And that is a journey. And I feel like, I keep saying this because it just becomes a really interesting metaphor for the way I see my work. But I don't want to sprint. I don't want a short sprint. I want my journey as an actor to be a marathon. I'm here for the long run. I'm here to do characters that resonate with you. I'm also here to do something where you can see me doing song and dance and something fun and glamorous. But I'm also here to do something where you remember the performer in me.
Wow. And I think, all your characters are somehow kind of, bending to that
Thank you.
notion, which I really, really love about you as an actor.
Thank you.
So I was looking at the whole, because I've watched these films,
Right.
and I just kind of looked at the whole graph and I understood that, okay, so she's someone who's really bending towards content-driven characters,
Yeah.
but she's also enjoying that work. And that just shows how big of a potential or how much of a dreamer you are about
Yeah.
this and serious you
Yeah.
are about this whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's really, really nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's inspiring.
Yeah. Also, because I feel like, a lot of young actors like myself, we don't get many options to choose from.
Absolutely.
जो आपको दिया जा रहा है, you are somewhere silly if you say no.
Why?
You don't want to say no to a project when you're only getting maybe one opportunity. But I feel like in that opportunity that you get, maybe that is not your maybe you wouldn't have chosen that if you had 10 options in front of you. But if you have that one option, I would say take it and then bring in something interesting into it, because that's that one opportunity you've got. Maybe you might not get 10 options to choose from. Not everyone has that luxury. So whatever you're getting, take it and try to make it your own and own it.
But Naila, I kind of I'm getting curious about this fact. What do you think about the box office in general? When there are different kind of movies,
Yeah.
okay? But box office numbers for each actor is somehow become a very important factor.
Yeah.
Not only to give them more opportunities,
Yeah.
but also somehow right now to understand what is their potential. Somehow box office numbers से पता चल जाता है उनका potential क्या है.
Yeah.
So, what do you have to say about that kind of a notion which is now running?
See, I feel like right now, as we can see, the cinema culture is kind of going through a bit of a change. You're not seeing people throng to a cinema as much as they used to in the past. I feel like people's interest towards the kind of stories they want to watch is also kind of changing.
Yes.
If we even take an example of Lapata Ladies,
Exactly.
it's not a film that in a generic sense you would think would kind of do the numbers and the viewership it's doing. It's a very different kind of film, but the fact that it's getting the numbers and the viewership goes to show that the sensibilities of the audience is changing. And I just feel like now the focus really is on the content. No one, in my opinion, I just feel like audiences have really evolved to a point where they possibly don't just want to see a mindless story. They want to come into the theater, be entertained,
Yeah.
possibly be educated if that film requires that, and come out feeling like they've watched a story evolve in totality. Even if that's a fun film, they should feel something after they come out of watching that film. So I feel like really an example is if Lapata Ladies can get the amount of eyeballs that it's got. And interestingly enough, I don't know about the numbers exactly, but I don't know how Lapata Ladies did in the cinema, in the theaters.
Actually, not that good.
But when it came on OTT,
exactly,
it just boomed.
Yeah.
And all the actors are getting so much of love and appreciation. So I feel like you never know where you might get your opportunities from. Maybe the box office numbers might say a different story, but an audience will like what's good. And if
Yeah.
wherever they're watching it, whether it's an OTT platform or in the theaters, if your content is winning, you will come across as a shining actor.
Absolutely.
And that's why those actors, today are being talked about. It's possibly the first movie that comes to my lips when I think about an underdog film in today's day and age.
Yeah.
And of course, I had a special affection for it because Ravi Kishan sir was in it. And he kept telling me when we were promoting Mamla Legal Hai that beta, you have to watch Lapata Ladies. You're gonna love it. It's such a different story, and a woman like
is.
you'll connect with it. And as soon as I watched it, I knew what Sir was talking about because it connects and how.
Absolutely. And I think that is why it's resonating with so much people, so
Yeah.
much in the crowd, you know.
Correct.
Exactly. Moving on.
Yeah.
We were talking about box office and, you know, all these dynamics of the career or of being a part in the industry. I wanted to know, was there ever a time that you were rejected in such a way that, I mean, it was such a harsh rejection for you? It was that even thinking about it now might affect you in certain ways. Not
Yeah.
negatively,
Yeah.
but maybe even positively. It does affect you in
Yeah.
certain ways.
Yeah. So there was a project. I'll not name it, of course, because there are people involved in it. But I had tested for a part, and I had met the director, and he had kind of narrated the story to me. And so basically, what I used to do was I was living in Delhi, and whenever I had an audition or an important meeting, I would come down to Mumbai, do my work, and then go back to Delhi. And this was a time when I started, so the school I'm from in Delhi, the British school, they had appointed me as one of the drama teachers for
Okay.
the primary school students, which I started doing. It was my first job after I finished my education. And I thought, again, it'll keep me in touch with my skills and then give me something while I'm trying to be an actor. So I came to Mumbai. I had my meeting with the director. He kind of narrated the story to me, and he was very positive. He had really liked me for the part, and I was very excited. I thought, outsiders, you think, "Main to launch hone wali hu." Like
Yeah.
someone's given me that golden ticket. I'm going to
Yeah.
be in the movies now. So I thought everything is working on track. And he said that, I'm going to talk to a couple of more people that are involved in the film, and then hopefully, it works out. Let's hope for the best. So I was very positive after that meeting. I went back to Delhi, and about a week, 2 weeks passed, and I didn't hear back. So I was getting more and more anxious and nervous.
Okay.
2 weeks went by, 3 weeks went by, and I finally got a call. And I was in school about to get into my next lesson, next class, and I got a call from the director. And I went to the site to talk to him, and he said that, I'm sorry, but the makers want to go with somebody else, and I'll have to, this can't happen this time round. And I got so affected. I went to the bathroom. It was like a very tamasha moment for me. I went to the bathroom, I kind of like cried it all out, like I howled. And then I fixed my face up, and I went out with a smile, and I taught my children. And I went in for a lesson, and I did my theatre activities that I had planned. And I went about my day with a smile on my face, but inside I was hurting. I was very young at that time, and I just, every small little iota of hope that you get from someone, you hold it on, and you think, this is my chance. And when that doesn't work out, it breaks your heart to a million pieces.
Exactly.
But I feel like I've really evolved from that time, from where I was to now, where I feel like I've been able to deal with failure now a lot better, because failure happens every day, right?
Absolutely.
It's in some form or the other.
Yeah.
Even now, even when I have the liberty to read scripts and have meetings and all of that, you still have your own struggles. But one thing that I've really changed in my head in terms of how I approach my work now is that I tell myself that it's not so much about me, but it's about other external factors that I don't have control of. If someone thinks that X is more suited for a part, it's not that I'm a bad actor or performer. It's just that a director may have a different vision. If he
Absolutely.
likes Rajma Chawal and you're giving him Kadi Chawal, he will gravitate towards the Rajma Chawal, even if the Kadi Chawal is delicious,
Exactly.
right? So I stopped kind of bogging myself down that, oh, mujh mein kuch kami hogi, and rather seen it in a way that, you know what, it's fine. It's someone else's opinion, it's someone else's choice, and it's okay. It's all right.
That's a very nice way of looking at it.
You kind of
And
have to. It helps with your sanity.
Yeah.
And it keeps you sane.
Yeah. And also because in this day and age, I think in a way, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but in this age, right now, what I'm seeing at the social media as well, especially on social media,
Yeah.
whenever an actor enters,
Hmm.
regardless of where they come from,
Hmm.
sometimes they meet with a lot of demanding judgments. Like there's a lot of expectations out of a new actor who's just going to debut.
Yeah.
There's just too much on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Like people expect something like, an Oscar worthy performance from
Yeah.
them. And
Yeah.
that becomes very heavy when I put myself in their shoes,
Yeah.
I feel it becomes very heavy for them to deliver.
Yeah.
It becomes like a pressure for them.
Yeah.
And that kind of ends up, them facing trollings and etc. And it becomes very difficult for them to, then choose
Absolutely.
another project and again do the same kind of performance.
Yeah.
Because kahin na kahin sabke liye, they are not enough.
Yeah. It's become very hard to kind of please people because, and I feel like people are also very like, I don't know, like it's quite comical because I think even on taking away slightly from what you're saying, even when people start ranting about nepo kids and they
Yeah.
say, oh, nepotism, and then finally, even if an outsider gets a chance, then they're like, अरे ये कौन है? तो हर चीज में आपको problem ही है.
Exactly.
If a new person gets a chance, then you're like, ये कौन है? If a person coming from a film family is getting a chance, which is very normal, then they're saying, oh, nepotism. No one is focusing on the fact that watch their performance and judge.
Exactly.
You may like or dislike a person's performance, which is totally your prerogative, but focus on the performance. Focus on what you have to see because we're not here to just be on social media, right? There's a different profession for that. We're here to be actors. We're here to be on an OTT platform or on your 70mm silver screens, So see the performance and then make your judgments.
Exactly.
Then even if you don't like it, well and good, that's your personal opinion. But I find it very kind of annoying when people randomly say things like nepotism when you see someone coming from a film family, and if someone not from a film family is finally getting a chance, then you say, "Arey, ye kaun hai? Ye kahan se aa gayi?"
And why do we need to buy a ticket and watch them? Because, as you said, the difference. A Lapata Lady does well on the OTT platform but doesn't do well in the box office.
Yeah. But I feel like that change is coming where now I feel, in my personal opinion, I feel films, regardless of the kind of budgets they have, regardless of the kind of actors they have, a person will come and watch a film if the story hits you and is impactful. I mean, Munjia is a great example. It's doing great
Absolutely.
numbers.
Yeah.
And there are relatively newer actors in that film. And even the genre is something that is slightly more quirky and different.
Yeah.
But it's doing great numbers. So I feel like at the end of the day, if your story is impactful, your actors are delivering what's required from the story, then it will do the numbers. I think that notion that only, your massive superstars doing these out-and-out commercial, action-packed films, that's the only kind of cinema that's going to do well. I don't come from that school of thought. I think that if your film is good, it will get the eyeballs wherever it has to.
But I really want to know, when did you think that this is exactly the thing I want to do? Like, acting is the it for me.
When I got Tamasha, I think. When I finally got Tamasha, which is also like a random story, I had just entered college and I was doing a play because I was part of the dramatic society. तुम्हारे DU में societies होते हैं.
Okay.
Dance society, dramatic society, public speaking. So I was part of the dramatic society and I was doing a play. And in the audience, the casting team was sitting who was casting for the film.
Okay.
So they came up to me and said, there's a film called Tamasha, उसमें छोटा सा part है. इम्तियाज़ अली सर डायरेक्ट कर रहे हैं, रणबीर कपूर के आपको एक्ट करना है उनके साथ. So I was like, yes, of course, 100%. Though मैंने तो yes बोला था because I thought, oh, I'll just tick it off my bucket list. Like a college girl, like, yeah, I've met Ranbir Kapoor and I've also acted with him. मुझे ऐसे लगा था. Cut to me being on the set and realizing that, okay, I love theatre and I love, performing on stage. Maybe I love being in front of the camera. And I really enjoyed that process because I realized it's very, very different from theatre. So when you're performing on stage, you're kind of performing to the last person sitting in the audience, right? Your performance style is a lot larger than life because you're catching people's eyeballs who are sitting in the audience. But when you're acting for camera, you have to be subtle because the camera is capturing every little muscle and twitch in your body and face. So for me to just understand how to be natural in front of the camera took a while. Tamasha was that point where I realized that like hitting my mark was a challenge, catching the light was a challenge, because these are things that normal people don't know about,
Exactly.
right? So 100 instructions that your director gives you right before a take to incorporate that and deliver the lines, it's a lot. So doing Tamasha just made me realize that I need to pull up my socks and work on my craft if I need to be an actor. So that gave me that like chaska ki haan mujhe pasand hai, maybe I want to do more.
That was like a challenge in front of
Yeah,
you,
it was
and
a
you wanted
challenge.
to do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I thought that, okay, this is something I'm enjoying doing. So maybe let me explore that further.
Wow, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, the way how you completely narrated the whole way how it has happened with you, that was very exciting. I just
Thank
felt
you.
excited listening to it.
I'm happy.
Naila, do you believe in the modern dating and the love scene? I want to know what personally Naila feels, because we saw what Ria feels.
Yeah.
I want to know what Naila feels.
Honestly, no. I don't really relate, but I know it's a reality. So like dating apps and like these like terminology like breadcrumbing and like ghosting, it's all like really like these terms exist. I didn't know like orbiting is a thing,
There's more now.
benching. Yeah, there are more now. Like I think every day passes and
Exactly.
new ones.
I know.
Which goes over my head because I'm just like मेरा starting and end FOMO था. FOMO and YOLO से अब कहाँ कहाँ पहुँच गया है abbreviations. I'm quite surprised. But I do realize that it's a reality of today. People are on dating apps. I feel like Gen Zs today are just the way they approach and think of love has possibly changed. But I feel at the end of the day, everyone wants love, right? Even Gen Zs want love. Maybe the path to which they take to find the love might be different compared to like millennials.
Yeah.
But everyone at the end of the day is looking for love. Is looking for that one person. I don't think Gen Zs are thinking, मैं जिंदगी में ना 100 लड़कों के साथ होंगी. Like everyone wants that one person, you know.
Exactly.
I know it's hard to find, which is why like people constantly like maybe move from person to person sometimes. But at the end of the day, you want that one person to be with. Personally, I am a traditionalist. Like I believe in that old school wala love.
Same here.
That's me. And I've also realized that for me, friendship is a very important foundation for love.
Wow. I am connecting to the real Naila
Right?
as well. Yeah.
It's really important because I think I've jumped the gun many times in the past and gone straight to the love and realized that इसमें तो कुछ वो ही नहीं है, कुछ foundation ही नहीं है इसका.
Yeah, like that soul stirring kind of a thing.
Correct. And that on a very humanistic level, because see, some time will pass and then the physicality of love may or may not fade away. But what is going to remain is like a solid foundation of companionship, where that person you're with is hopefully looking out for you as a human being. And if you have that, then I think that's a massive win. Like I don't want someone to just love me for the Naila I am right now.
Yeah, and it's so great. Like, you know, somehow you are the person who's kind of, in a way, I'm just saying, it's not like putting you on a pedestal or anything, but I think that today the people who are there acting, for us Indians, films are a very big influence.
Yes.
In certain ways.
Yeah.
And in many other ways as well.
Yeah.
And you as Naila Grewal or as Ria as well,
Yeah.
this whole sorted way of approaching a relationship or knowing what I want as a woman
Yeah.
kind of gives a kind of, you know, a head start to other women out there as well to understand what they want or understand what they actually want from the
Correct.
relationship that they approach.
Yeah.
I was sitting down with my friend
Yeah.
and he very casually said that I don't think women any which ways जितने भी लोगों को मैंने date किया है लड़कियों को, none of them actually know what they want. And I was like, that cannot be possible
That's not-
because
yeah.
I know what I want.
Correct.
And I know that this is the kind of a person I want.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of relationship I want.
Correct.
And on that note, I would also want to know, what do you think as someone who's in today's women, because there are many girls also I've met, and they're
Yeah.
like, कि हम लोग को alpha male बहुत पसंद है. And then there are also those who say कि नहीं.
Yeah.
For us, that definition is only different.
Yeah.
What is your definition for an alpha male?
That's a good one. Huh? No one's asked me that before. And I think that's a great question because again, there are these preconceived notions of what an alpha male is. But for me, what I see as a real man would be someone, the fundamentals are respect and loyalty. That we can't take away.
Absolutely.
Person has to be respectful. A person has to be loyal to you and your emotions and the person you are. But there's something that may seem a little small to other people, but when you're having a conversation and that person is looking into your eyes and talking to you, that is so rare sometimes to find.
Very rare. Very rare.
People, everyone wants to say their side of the story, but there are very few people who then, they need to stop and they need to hear their partner as well.
Exactly.
And they need to genuinely hear what their partner has to say. And for me, that's my kind of main barometer, is that I want my partner to genuinely listen to me and genuinely know what I'm going through and what I'm feeling and my ups and my downs and my boringness and my mundaneness. Be a part of that and take equal interest in even the days where I'm sitting at home in my pajamas and doing nothing.
Exactly.
Like every day I'm not in like hair, makeup, right? So there are days where I'm just sitting at home and maybe having a very blah day. But take interest in that. And I want to as well. I want to be, I'm a person who is completely invested in a person in totality. I feel like the frills and the froth will disappear after some time. But what will remain is a regular person, and you should love the regularness within a person. Love the fact that they're sitting and just folding their legs and having a chai or coffee while watching something random on TV. Everything doesn't have to be prim and proper all the time,
I think that is something that I completely, agree with, because I'll tell you, this is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And many people have got down into an argument with me on that whole thing.
Yeah.
Even my own dad, for that matter.
Yeah.
And I keep telling them that I really don't want to get married.
Yeah.
I don't mind a relationship or just like kind of, living as well, but I don't want to get married. Because I feel that marriage is somewhere that the other person starts taking you in a very granted sort of way. They become more busy with every other thing but you. And that is something that I can't relate to, because for me, having a person in my life is through companionship.
Correct.
And I would completely focus on that person.
Yeah.
And if I don't get that, it's like a fear as well somewhere in my mind that I might not get that thing back.
And I feel like maybe we've seen it in society so much that change, that switch that happens in people after they get married. And you're like, nahi, ye nahi chahti main.
Exactly.
I want that love to stay barqarar the way it was when we were dating.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is a fear. And it's a justified fear, because that's kind of the society we live in. Maybe that's the examples we have had around ourselves. But I guess marriage in general, even I'm just thinking out loud, but I guess it's a gamble always. I know people who have met for a few months and have gotten married and have stayed together for years. And there are people who have dated for like 10 years and then gotten married and then they've like split up in a year. So there's no hard and fast rule about a relationship and marriage. But I just feel like your core fundamentals should be the same. And I think if that happens, if you connect on a fundamental, like your foundation, and both of your foundations match, then it has a chance and a possibility to just last longer.
But do you feel, Naila, that being in this profession of acting, especially, because these days, as you see, there are a lot of couples in the film industry as well, whom we've seen grow together for ages and ages and generations after generations. They've split up. And maybe for the right reasons for themselves. But at the end of the day, from a third point of view, when we look at them, we understand that somehow it is also said that the film line of an actor's life is so dynamic that even their love life gets very unstable. Do you feel that is a correct notion? Does an actor, can they have a stable love life?
I feel like the notion of people being busy and that taking a toll on a relationship is a reality. But I feel like that can happen with any profession. I just feel one thing is there, as an actor, you will have erratic hours. And I feel like that can possibly take a toll on your relationship. But then at the end of the day, you need to be in a state where you can really communicate with your partner enough for them to know how your journey is, to empathize and be aware that, okay, this is the world she belongs to in her professional life. Also, I feel like on a personal level, one should know and have that demarcation between your work and your personal life. Everything can't become about your work. You know, you see a lot of people just kind of go out even on dates for the social media,
Yeah.
right? They just want to put out a picture that they're having a coffee with a cake with their partner's hand. I don't think that should be your image of what your love should be. I think as an actor, given that everything else is so public and everything is out there, like you going on the streets, you're being clicked, and you're going for interviews, and you're being in front of the camera. I feel your relationship should be that one sacred place which should be personal and private. And I
Yeah.
feel like if you do that, and if you have a strong kind of communication with your partner, that they're aware of what you're doing, then hopefully it should not be, you
Yeah.
know.
I think it would take jayega.
I think phir tik jayega if the
Right.
communication is strong.
Okay. And lastly, before I let you go,
Yes.
I've been asking this because I think my manifestation is very soon going to come true.
Okay.
But I want to know, what is your manifestation story? Like, everybody has one. Chota bhi hota hai kabhi kabhar. Like, I manifested something recently and
Yeah.
it has come true.
Lovely.
So, what is that for you?
I feel like there have been many times when I was not living in Mumbai and I used to come here for my work, as I was saying earlier. And I would have a tough day and I would just go by the sea and just let go and manifest great things happening for me, getting the roles I wanted, working with the people I've wanted to work with. And that's always kind of made me feel refreshed and rejuvenated. When you're in front of the sea, you realize how small your problems are, and how everything is quite literally a drop in the ocean. So my manifestations are actually very scattered, because there's some mornings I wake up and I manifest first thing in the morning. There are times when I've just stood in front of the front of my mirror and manifested many things. For example, I won an award for Mamla Legal Hai.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
I know
so
that.
I got, it's a big deal. Like, I've never won an award before. So as small and as kind of childish as the fact of me being in my bathroom holding my body moisturizer thinking that I've won an award for my work, that coming to life, that's a very special, overwhelming manifestation for me.
Wow.
And I hope it just like double, triples and keeps increasing because I just love entertaining.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
But I think wo ho jayega.
I hope.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Naila,
you.
for being on Pop Diaries and having this very warm conversation with
I
me.
loved talking to you.
It can't be more than how much I love
No,
talking
it
to
can't
you.
be more than how much I love talking to you. I really enjoy talking to you. It felt like therapy.
I felt like I felt connected
Yeah.
in a very personal way.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being the way you are.
Thank
and
you.
please keep being that way.
100%.
And I hope there are major opportunities coming your way
Touch wood,
because you
yeah.
deserve it.
Thank you.
And we get to see more of you. And
Yes.
don't forget the spin-off story. mat bhulo. ठीक है? Tips. You're
Mat
listening to
forget,
me.
guys. Mat forget.
Okay, this was Manjari Mukherjee signing off from Pop Diaries channel. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to comment and tell me what you loved about this interview. I am sure तुम confused हो जाओगे because I loved the whole interview. So until next time, bye.